Good day, everyone. We are from BN3A Group 4A with Mr. Necesario Paul Adrian. I am Miss PACLIBAR Ana May Lourdes, and together with me is Miss Pascua Trishelle May, Miss Tembrevilla Nekisha Angela, and Mr. Harris MELZIEL Ann. And we are here presenting a research study entitled Level of Social Isolation Among Nursing Students in the New Normal. So to start, the Department of Health advised the public to be under quarantine in the time of pandemic, which resulted in a shift from face-to-face to online jobs and online classes, thus creating a different atmosphere altogether that it led to the reduction of social interactions and psychosocial support. In the article by Lotus 2020, it concluded that the youth and the children were highly likely to suffer from depression and anxiety due to social isolation. Additionally, the continuation of education of the students through online classes had also been identified as a stressor brought about by fear and anxiety due to the unpreparedness of education. Through this, the researchers conducted the study in order to determine the level of social isolation among Level 2 nursing students of the University of St. LaSalle as they struggle to adjust to the new normal setting. The research would serve as a basis to recognize the indicators that would benefit the community, as it would raise awareness if such levels are likely happening and to find appropriate interventions.
For the research design, this study is quantitative research according to the type of data, and it seeks to quantify in numbers the level of social isolation by measuring the response of the participants. This study utilized the descriptive design as the research seeks to describe the significant relationship between the level of social isolation and the following variables, such as sex, type of community, and the living situation of the participants. For the study sample, the target population of the study were the 169 out of 277 Level 2 nursing students of the University of St. LaSalle. 24 participants of each section of the Level 2 nursing students were gathered using the stratified random sampling method.
Research instrument. In this study, the instrument that the researchers used is a researcher-made questionnaire intended to gather, analyze, and interpret information from the Level 2 nursing students of the University of St. LaSalle. The questionnaire consists of three parts. Part 1 is about the demographic profile of the Level 2 nursing students. Part 2 consists of questions about the indicators of social isolation. And Part 3 consists of questions about the level of social isolation among Level 2 nursing students.
For the results, Figure 1 shows the demographic profile of the Level 2 nursing students. Among the 169 Level 2 nursing students who answered the survey, 120 are female and 49 are male. It indicates that the course Bachelor of Science in Nursing has more female students than male. Also, female and male college students require different solutions or coping mechanisms to help them adapt to their college life. A large number of the participants are living in an urban area, which accounts to 69.2%. Meanwhile, only 17.2% and 13.6% of the sample population came from urban and rural, respectively. It implies that most students were living in urban area as it is nearer to the location of their school. In terms of the living situation of the Level 2 nursing students, 150 of them are living with their parents, 18 students are living with their guardians, and one student is living with other individuals. In general, most of the students are living with their parents as part of their culture to live with them until they are financially stable. For Table 1, and the indicators that contribute to social isolation among Level 2 nursing students, anxiety and loneliness were high contributors of participants' social isolation, while depression had a low possibility to contribute to social isolation to the participants. These findings were in accordance with a study conducted by Grossman P., which stated that due to the pandemic, there are protocols that were established, such as mandatory social distancing, that has brought anxiety because of the isolation. In addition, loneliness could lead to various distinct conditions such as premature mortality, depression, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline.
For the Table 2, this shows the level of social isolation of Level 2 nursing students when taken as a whole, and the specific variables of a high level as an interpretation using the mean and standard deviation. However, based on the results, on some variables, like sex, the mean value of female was higher than of the male participants, particularly on the study of Barrett et al. 2020, that men and women were significantly different, particularly in social, psychological, and emotional aspects. This implies that there is an influence from gender on the level of social isolation, whereas for the type of community, urban areas are more likely to experience social isolation rather than other types of communities, as this provided a relevant information as a support from the study of Smith et al. 2020. Moreover, for the living situation variable, though participants in the study living with parents have a higher mean value than of the participants living with guardian and other individuals. And this implies that even at home with their families, they still experience social isolation as there were changes in several dimensions of social networks. However, in general, all groups in the study presented to have a high level of interpretation of social isolation, and when taken as a whole, it is a mean scale of 2.64 and standard deviation of 0.31 that also falls on the high level.
Table 3 shows the relationship between the level of social isolation and the profile variables sex, type of community, and living situation. The result shows that there is no significant relationship between the level of social isolation and the profile variables of the level 2 nursing students. It implies that social isolation can occur to both male and female in any type of community and any living situation. However, based on the results, the type of community has the lowest p-value with 0.104 compared to gender with 0.270 and the type of living situation with the highest value of 0.586. Although the result is different from any other research, this study can also be relevant to any students who may experience social isolation. In conclusion, the research entitled Level of Social Isolation Among Nursing Students in the New Normal showed that the course Bachelor of Science in Nursing has more female students than male, that most students were living in urban area and students are living with their parents. Anxiety and loneliness were high contributors of participants' social isolation, while depression had a low possibility. Also, there was a high incidence of social isolation among Level 2 nursing students when taken as a whole, and a few of the students could be more at risk for social isolation. When they show signs of anxiety, fewer instances of direct contact to their family members and friends, and that female students appear to be more at risk of social isolation. Lastly, there is no significant relationship between the level of social isolation and the profile variables. Social isolation can occur to both male and female in any type of community and any living situation.
Recommendations. This research has provided the proponents with important information about social isolation among nursing students in the new normal. In order to ensure that optimal health is restored and maintained, the group would like to recommend the following: to the University of St. LaSalle College of Nursing, to the students, and to future researchers, to be mindful and to take care of their mental health. Mental health has a direct impact when it comes to our ability to take in new information, understand new ideas, and learn new skills. Doing daily tasks can become very challenging when battling with depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time and for listening.